Welcome to the Family One Kickout. I'm the Festus.
And I am Show Stealing.
And today on our very premiere episode, we're joined by our guest, the Freaky One. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for coming.
And on this show, we're going to be talking about the top 5 people we think should be inducted this year into the WWE Hall of Fame. And I've been elected to start this countdown, so let's get this show on the road with my number 5 entrant, which is an entrant into the celebrity wing of the Hall, and it's Miss Joan Rivers, a fine comedian who was at WrestleMania number 2 and had many superstars on her varied talk shows throughout the year. She will be missed, and she should be inducted into the Hall this year. Now, Show Stealing, hit us with your number 5 pick.
My number 5 pick for the WWE 2015 Hall of Fame, this is uncut by the way, is Kevin Nash. We say uncut because there were some superstars like Nash who started and had some crappy gimmicks like the Oz and Vinny Vegas. He went to WWE as Diesel, and he tore the house down and power bombed his way to the top. Now hit us with it, freaky one.
What name comes to mind when you say WrestleMania? I say Vince McMahon, who was the pioneer of WrestleMania, who said WrestleMania every single WrestleMania, who is the owner and CEO of WWE, and bought out WCW and ECW, his biggest rivals. Festus? The Festus?
My number 4 pick this year, who just came over to WWE, but whose stellar career in WCW more than makes up for it and should get him into the Hall, and that is the icon Sting. With just one appearance in the WWE this year, changed the history of that company, and should be inducted into the Hall. Now, Show Stealing, hit us with your number 4 pick for
My
this
number
list.
4 is in the Celebrity Ring Hall of Fame. He was at a WrestleMania, and he was the special guest on a Raw with his wife, Sharon. Ozzy Osbourne should definitely be in the Hall of Fame this year. Hit us with the freaky one.
Who just wants to have fun? Anyone? Who has the hardest win-loss record to ever achieve? Who? The Brooklyn Brawler. You might not know who he is, but you can definitely say his win-loss record no one will ever come close to ever again. Festus?
My number 3 also has a great win-loss record, especially at the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, with a 21-1. I'm talking about, of course, The Undertaker. His legendary status, the Phenom. Every match he had, the entrance alone would send chills, and then his physicality in the ring, the best big man to ever grace the squared circle. My pick, The Taker, for number 3. Give us your number 3, Show Stealing.
My number 3 is the King of Hearts. He definitely would have been world champ if it wasn't for his tragic death. Owen Hart. Him and his brother had a phenomenal rivalry. He was an Intercontinental Champion, and he is way past due. Now hit us with the freaking one.
Do you guys want to have fun? Girls
Of course.
just want to have fun. Cyndi Lauper, who headlined WrestleMania 1 with Wendy Richter, who defeated the Fabulous Moolah in her 27-year title reign as women's champion. No one can beat that, but Wendy Richter did, with the help of Cyndi Lauper. And she presented Heath Slater with the gold record. How many people have had that happen? Festus.
My number 2, we've already spoken about. Show Stealing's number 3, Owen Hart, the King of Heart, the Survivor, and way overdue for entrance into the Hall of Fame, and should be inducted this year. Enough said. Your number 2, Show Stealing?
Woo! The thing that gave me chills at Survivor Series was when Sting debuted. He should definitely be in the Hall of Fame. I've been waiting for this moment and when he debuted. So he should definitely be in the Hall of Fame this year. Hit me with the freaky one.
Hit you with the Stinger Splash?
I'm open for it.
Yeah, Sting is also my number 2 into the WWE Hall of Fame predictions. WCW World Title reigns. Multiple World Tag Team title reigns. WCW. Multiple U.S. title reigns. He is a WWE Hall of Famer. Festus, your turn.
Oh yeah! We're talking about the Macho Man Randy Savage, my number 1 pick to get into the Hall of Fame. The interview skills, the in-ring ability that was far beyond what anybody was doing at the time. It's a no-brainer. Put Randy Savage in the Hall of Fame. Show stealing, you were number 1 pick.
Just like the Festus said, Macho Man should definitely be in. I was not around for WrestleMania 3, but I can sit there and talk about WrestleMania 3, not because of Andre and Hulk Hogan, God rest your soul, Andre, but because of Steamboat and Macho Man. They tore the house down. If it wasn't for them, WrestleMania 3 wouldn't have happened. Freaky one?
Ooh, yeah! Macho Man! Let's go! I think this is a straight through shutout. Macho Man needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Well, that's our individual picks. Now we get down to the nitty-gritty, deciding who this show is going to pick as its top 5 entrants into the Hall of Fame. Now I think it's safe to say, consensus number 1, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Number 1 on each of our lists, so no-brainer, number 1. The number 2 pick, the only other person who showed up on all 3 of our lists, Sting, the Icon. And now for the nitty-gritty. Our number 3. There's only one other person who showed up on 2 of our lists. And that is the King of Hearts, Owen Hart. Now, Freaky One, he wasn't on your list. I'm going to, I don't know, maybe you had a head injury today. You've taken a fair amount of DDTs in your in-ring career, so I'm just going to, say that's why you forgot to mention Owen Hart. And I think we should put him as our number 3. What say you?
No say.
Okay. Now number 4. There was no other consensus amongst us all. But I would say I said Taker, neither one of you did. You said Kevin Nash and Ozzy Osbourne. No one else did. You said Vince McMahon and Brooklyn Brawler. Brooklyn Brawler? I love Steve Lombardi. I think he's one of the best jobbers ever and has been with the company so long that at some point in the future he should be allowed to be in the Hall of Fame. But really? The Brooklyn Brawler?
What about Abe Knuckleball Schwartz?
No.
What about Kimchi?
No.
What about MVP?
Montel Vontamius Porter?
No and no.
Doink the Clown?
Not even. So, I'm sorry, but Brooklyn Brawler, gone from this argument. I would have to argue that Kevin Nash would be consensus number 4. Now, I know you had Vince's argument. Argue for Vince. Argue why Vince should be on this top 5 list instead of Kevin Nash.
Vince pioneered WrestleMania. Even though he has an O in however many losses at WrestleMania, he still puts over that employee. He put over his own son, which many people won't do.
You have valid arguments. But part of me thinks that since Vince is the one who picks who goes into the Hall, there isn't, like a voting like other sports announced teams, like the Major League Baseball or football. It really is Vince picks who goes in. And I don't think, as much as I think he will be in at a point in time, I don't think he thinks he's at that point yet. And I truly think that Kevin Nash, with the world title reign back in the 90s, was, almost over a year.
He defeated Goldberg as...
Yes, the defeat over Goldberg, even though it was kind of a screw job because of the shock stick. I think Kevin Nash could beat Goldberg any day of the week. I think Chavo Guerrero could beat Goldberg any day of the week.
Put it this way, Nash climbed on his way to the top.
I believe anybody could beat Goldberg. Okay, and Kevin Nash, yes, broke that incredible win streak. I think he should be at number 4. What say you? Any last vestige of an argument?
No say.
Okay, and number 4. And number 5 is we're going to induct someone into the Celebrity Hall wing, and each one of us had a celebrity on their thing. My pick was, God rest her soul, the great comedian Joan Rivers. Right, show stealing picked Ozzy Osbourne. Michael here had a more valid pick, I think, than Roy at Cyndi Lauper, who, as he said, WrestleMania 1 physically got involved in the match, and then later on also got physically involved as the host. So I would put her actually above my pick of Joan Rivers. Make your pick. Oh, you're going to bow down and say Cyndi Lauper is our number 5 pick. So, with that being said, here is the Family One Kickouts top 5 people who should be in the Hall of Fame this year. Number 5, Cyndi Lauper.
Number 4, Kevin Nash.
Number 3, Owen Hart.
Number 2, woo, Sting.
And number 1, oh yeah, snap it right into the Hall of Fame with Macho Man Randy Savage. And all other top 5s do not count. That's the list. And now for the cheap plugs. Follow me on Twitter at Festus74.
Follow me on Twitter at Dope Roy Radke.
Follow me on Twitter at the Freaky One 1995.
And look for us on Facebook at the Family One Kickout. And I'd like, on behalf of my co-host Show Stealing, to thank the Freaky One for coming in today. It's been a pleasure. It's been a riot. And guess what? We just have 2 words for ya.
WWE Hall of Fame 2015.
It's like 5 words.
Hey, that's what we're talking about.